Today we are going to be talking cash flow management. It's a great show today because it doesn't really matter if you're a W-2 employee, if you're a college student working part-time, if you're a successful business owner, or maybe you're a business owner that's chopping sideways, not quite successful. What I'm going to show you guys today, no matter what category you're in, is going to astronomically change your future. Not just this month, not just end of the year, not just in 2 years from now, but if you use this system, you will have millions with an M, millions of more dollars than other people in America, guaranteed. Big claim. I fully understand the claim, but this system works. The best part is it's automated, it's easy, and it works. That is it. When I first learned this system, I was like, man, I can do that on my own. Yeah, I can do that. Not true. People who fail to implement this system, and we'll get into the caveats of what this system entails, but also the benefits of the system long term, and now you're speaking a different language. So, I have clients who make $50,000 a month. Let's just say on average, one gentleman I'm thinking of makes $50,000 to $80,000 a month. Does not know where his money is going. Cutting it close at the end of the month. So a lot of times, depending on the nature of your situation, you're thinking, man, if I could just get an extra $10,000 a month, I would be really good. And that may be true for some of the people watching this. But the reality is, the more you make, the more you spend. And so knowing that between what you make and what you spend, the difference between those two numbers, that is the gap where wealth is made. And that's what this system creates. Now, when I say system, it's a software system that we use for all of our clients. It's an amazing system. It's easy. You download it on your phone. You have access to it. I think the investment is $40, or you get it free for 90 days, and then you get it. It's $40 every quarter. So every 90 days, I think it comes out to like 40 cents a day. I would pay $1,000 to have this software. I personally would. I'd pay $1,000 a year to have this software because of how amazingly easy it is to use, how profound it's changed our family. It's changed countless lives of the clients that I get to serve. And today I'm going to give you pretty much the demonstration that I do for my clients, why it works, why it doesn't work, the benefits, the drawbacks, so you can look today and say, wow, I want that. That is my hopes. That's the claim. You make this one move, no matter your situation, whether you have 100 grand in debt, or you have $100,000 in the bank, you will be in a better spot. So let's dive in. As people make money, whether that's an LLC from a business or it's their W-2 paycheck. So they're going to take a distribution or they're going to get their paycheck. That is their money. And this is the first thing that they do, which is this is what ruins it all right here. They take their paycheck and they deposit that paycheck down into a checking account at a local bank. Wells Fargo, Chase, your local city bank, or credit union, whatever. And really what this bank account is it's an expense account. It's your operation account for your family. So you can manage your family economy. And so we have the money there now in our checking. And then what people do is they pay their bills, have fun, and then they push money over here and they drop it into a savings. So they may say, hey, I set up $200 a month or $2,000 a month to be automatically sent over into my savings. That's what I do. Now, here on the W-2 side, they're like, I'm already putting money into my 401k. I don't really need to save any money. Some people actually believe that. They're going to have all their money be taxed in retirement. And they're just putting it, and that's good. I mean, the fact that they're putting money in a 401k is forced savings. But sadly, I believe the average 401k balance upon retirement is only $69,000. $69,000. So horrible, horrible, horrible. LLCs, they take more, business owners tend to take cash, invest in real estate, invest in their company, invest in Roths, things of that nature, business opportunities, things of that nature. So, but back to the system. So they push money into the savings. Let's just say they get 10K in there. How many people who do that take the 10K and go put it into an investment or a cash flow engine to make them money? Most people do not. What they do is they go and they buy a car, or they finance a car. They go on vacation, and that's a car, by the way, although it strangely looks like a pair of goggles or something. That is an actual car. We share and we do not judge. Okay, the second thing they do is vacation. Third thing they do is fix the transmission. Transmission. Or the air conditioning unit. And so they keep a little buffer in there, but they never get into wealth building. Very, very rarely do I see people get into wealth building if they automatically deposit their paycheck into their checking account. And so the other problem we face is with our paycheck, we make money and then we have taxes. And some of the tax rates are, let's just say on the high end, 37% plus state. So that's Fed. Okay. And then we have our 401k. 401k. So the money comes in. Then they have to pay their taxes. And then they suck money out for the 401k. They suck money out for the HSA. They suck money out for payroll. And next thing you know, you look at the paycheck at the end of the month, and you're like, well, I make $10,000 a month, but I only bring home, $6,800. And that's because of all of this, what we refer to as financial gravity. It's pulling on you. It's taxing you. You get to use the money after the government. Think about that. So you're left with $6,800, and then you come up here. They send it to you. It comes down into here. You pay the bills. You have fun. And all of a sudden, push a little into savings, and then that savings comes back here to be spent on transmissions, medical bills, everything. And so what we're seeing is, if you make $100,000 a year, round number, based on our savings rate, you're spending $96K a year. And so this right here, this gap that we all have the ability to create is where wealth is made. And so that's what I'm going to show you guys today, how we can do that. And so our goal should be here. This is what we want. We want to create the gap. And the amazing part about creating this gap is once you have the funds to either pay off debt, pay off credit cards, pay off whatever, medical bills you have, student loans, Now we have a system where life can get easier for us if we allow it and we adopt this gap right here is what we're looking for. Because this guy, saving 4%, he'll probably work until he's 80, until he falls over. That's a lot of people right now, you guys. Go to the grocery store. How many people are at the grocery store 85 years old, 80 years old, 70 years old, helping do groceries? Now, I don't know. I don't want to call that a bad thing. I'm just saying, I bet if you took a microphone around to all those people and asked, hey, would you rather, me teach you a system 40 years ago that would allow you to have millions of dollars for retirement so you can spend time with your grandchildren, so you can spend time traveling, impacting your church, volunteering more? Would you rather do that, or would you rather be here spending, time with groceries and helping back? I do believe you should work until you die. Now, I do not believe that you should be, manually laboring until you die, unless somebody enjoys that. But the idea of retirement, and there is a really good book called Thou Shalt Prosper by Rabbi Daniel Lapin. And in that book, he talks about getting rid of the idea of retirement. And so, yes, you can quit a career and transition into doing something. But the reality is, as humans created, we were created to create. Now that's relationships, that's impact, that's creating service for other people. So the goal is to transition, and Lord willing, not spend every day of your retirement on a golf course, which I love to golf, by the way. So don't take that as like golfers are bad. But if all you're doing in retirement is golfing, what kind of life is that? I think it's a fair question. I think you can golf a lot, but I also believe, we have to have that impact part, that service part, that give back part, that produce part. So in retirement, that happens because you're intentional now. So if you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s right now, there is still massive amounts of time to create this system, create the gap, and start giving your money a place. So what is the solution? So what is the solution? The solution is this. Whether that's your W-2 or your LLC, your business, we take all money and distribute it into what we call the reservoir. And so the reservoir is the holding tank where all of our money starts growing. And our goal is to fill up this reservoir to a number that we're comfortable with. Let's just say that's $25,000. And so if we don't have $25,000 in there, that is our goal. We're working to put $25,000 into the reservoir. So take our paycheck, go to the payroll department. We'll go to our bank, and we will direct our company, our LLC's bank, to now deposit the money from our business into the reservoir. Now from here, this is your bank account. Let's just say your local bank. And now from this, and we're going to have round numbers, let's just call it $10,000 a month is what we make, either from our employment or our company. We're going to deposit that into the reservoir, and the reservoir is going to receive the 10K. Now, part of this process is figuring out what do we need each month between our rent, our fun, our food, our fashion, our liabilities, and going to the movies and spending time with our family or friends. So this gentleman, let's just call him Charlie Express, because he's on the fast track. So we got Charlie Express, and he's making 10K a month. What he's going to do, like I said, is he directs the 10K in, boom, boom, lands in the reservoir. on an app on his phone. This reservoir is FDIC insured up to, I believe, 2 million. It's a bank account. Verification, it's your bank. You got to do all the banking stuff to get it. And they're going to give you about 3% on this bank account with unlimited ACHs to move money. So Charlie Express is making $10,000. He's sick and tired of having no money. He's sick and tired of carrying debt and paying 24% usury on this credit cards and student loans. And so he's had enough. And he's going to put in this system to manage cash flow. 10 grand hits. After we sit down with Charlie over about 5 minutes, we look at how much he needs. He tells us everything I have between my mortgage, credit card payments, my food, everything for the month costs me $6,500. And we'll just call that his burn rate or outflows. So we've got 10K of inflows. We've got $6,500 of outflows. So every month we are going to distribute to his local bank account on the, let's just call it the 25th. And halfway through the month, let's just call that the 14th. We are going to send him $6,500. Quick math, $6,500 would be what? So he's going to get a payment on the 25th for $3,250. That'll get him going for the beginning of the month, end of the month, beginning of the next month, end of the current month, pay bills, whatever he needs. And then on the 14th, another $3,250 will come in. And that is the confines which he will live in. He says that's what he needs. He says that makes him happy. That allows him to buy a latte, allows him to pay his bills. And from there, the difference between the inflows and the outflows will reside in there. That is looking to be around $3,500 a month. Fast forward 1 month, same thing happens. 10,000 comes in. So he has 3,500 a month staying in the reservoir. So that's month 1, 3,500. Month 2. Month 3, he cut it too close. He actually ended up spending $7,000 in month 3. So in month 3, he only got 3,000. And he goes, in that month 3, he went into the reservoir and he actually ended up having to shoot down an extra $500 because it was too close and he needed to pay for some stuff. So in 90 days, we will sit down with Mr. Charlie Express here. Say, Charlie, the system is working. The system is working. You've successfully saved $3, $6, $9, $10,000. How do you feel about that? I feel great. I'm sleeping better. I feel like not such a loser. This is how it's supposed to be. I do macros with my fitness to track my caloric intake. I feel like I'm doing macros with my finances, and it's working. I'm adding weight to my finances. Great. So with this system, you get a quarterly check-in, a quarterly calibration meeting with the person who sets this up for you. So not only do you get a system that makes you and forces you by default, it makes you a forced saver. And now you just spend $3,500 a month. Spend it all. You don't need to save. You already saved $3,500 in the top. And so that being said, you are now an unconscious saver and a conscious spender. How cool is that? This system, I'm telling you guys, is changing people's financial future so fast, easily, very affordably. So Calibration meeting. Calibration meeting, we sit down. We review the last 90 days. We say, Charlie Express, you did great, man. Looks like you had to go and borrow $500. That's life. But thank the Lord, we had the money. We have a great system. And now you have $10,000 sitting in this, reservoir. What I noticed on your financial doctrine, on the initial intake form we did, you stated that you had $2,500 of credit card bills. So with the $2,500, would you like to take $2,500 of your $10,000 reservoir, and would you like to pay off that credit card at 24%? Hey man, I would love to pay off that $2,500 credit card that I've been paying the minimum on. Great. How much are you paying a month on that credit card? Oh, I pay $250 a month on that credit card. I pay $300 is what I've been paying. Okay, great. So let's schedule from your reservoir $2,500 to go into your checking account at the local bank so you can pay off that credit card. Amazing. $2,500 hits. The credit card is now paid off. He is completely free of credit card debt. How do you think that's going to make him feel? How would that make you feel? Okay, so what happened here? We cleared a debt that we knew about, but simultaneously, we just picked up $2,500. What did we say the credit card payment was? Did we say it was $300? So we just picked up a $300 payment. So now he's going to come down to his outflows down here, how much he needs, and he's going to remove his credit card payment of $300. So now Charlie Express only needs $6,200 a month. We'll come up in the calibration meeting. We will remove $300 from coming down to him every month. And now we will keep, instead of saving $3,500, now Charlie Express is saving $3,800 because now we're not paying that credit card anymore. So now we have $3,800 in the top. Rinse and repeat. Month, we'll call that, month 4, $3,800, month 5, $3,800. But here's a crazy thing. Charlie Express just came to us in month 5 and said, hey, I'm getting a raise at work. I'm getting an additional $400 a paycheck. So I'm getting an additional $800 a month. Holy moly. Amazing. So month 6, Charlie is now, he was making $10,000 a month. Now he's going to $10,800 a month. So $10,800 minus his $6,200. What is that? 8. So that's. Oh, what is this? Are you kidding me? My iPad just did that. Oh, you guys can't see because of my thing. So his income is $10,800. His expenses are $6,200. And so now he's gone from saving $3,500 a month to $4,600 a month because he cleared credit card and he happened to get a pay raise. And you guys, this system will capture it all. You will no longer have a funny money system of winging it, going to get a car payment, going to take on more debt for a car because you think you can. This system will help you exponentially When I tell you millions, and I'll show you on a calculator if we ever, get to work together, how many millions of dollars people are saving just by decreasing their cost of living increase. So this one thing alone, hear me out. Let's just say every time you got a 5% pay increase, if you just allocated half of it, 2.5% of the growth to savings, you would have millions of dollars in retirement. Millions of dollars to have. Hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest and buy rentals or cash flow or whatever your investment philosophy is, just by the not fully increasing. So, I think I've beat a dead horse here, and I hope I have, but I hope there's still people watching. So, recap. Do not put paycheck into your operational local bank. Never do that. Second thing, have a software cash flow management system that tracks everything for you on autopilot while you sleep. And the third thing is every 90 days, sit down with somebody who cares about your financial future. Imagine if every 90 days you sat down with a marriage coach. What if every 90 days you sat down with a business coach, a sports coach? But what about your finance coach helping you with your income? So that's why I carry the designation, what is called a certified income advisor. You guys, I would rather take 10 people that make $150,000, $200,000 a year versus 3 people who make $1 million a year. Give them this system and they will have way more money than the people making $1 million a year. I know that's hard to believe, but when you create the system and you start channeling it to compound on itself, and you start buying assets that make money on top of being a diligent saver, you create a financial tornado that just carries you and your family up into the skies, and it is absolutely amazing. So that is it for today's video. Not a whole lot of business advice today, but more or less, business owners benefit from this, employees benefit from this, families benefit from this, kids in high school starting their new jobs benefit from this. It is amazing. So if you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and we'll see you on the next video. Have an amazing day.